Hey everyone, welcome to EDENITES Technologies. In today's video, we have an exciting topic for you, a practical guide to web development in just 20 minutes. Whether you're a beginner or looking to refresh your skills, this video is for you. But first, please click on the subscribe button to subscribe to our YouTube channel to get more videos on how to improve your tech skills. Today, let's look at the basics of web development. 1. Understanding the basics. We start by briefly telling you the basic components of web development, what you can use to achieve a website, what you can use in developing a website. So let's briefly explain the tools needed in web development. One, we have HTML. So HTML is a standard markup language used to create and structure content on the web. HTML is an acronym for Hypertext Markup Language. It consists of a series of elements, each represented by tags, and define the structure of a web page. Elements can include headings, paragraphs, images, links, forms, and more. HTML provides basic structure for web documents and is essential for creating the web content. So let's look at CSS. CSS is an acronym for Cascaded Style Sheets. It is a style sheet language used to control the presentation and layout of HTML documents. In other words, you can say that it's used to design the HTML. HTML is used to style HTML documents. It allows designers and developers to define the visual appearance of elements on the web page. CSS can control aspects like colors, fonts, spacing, layers, and responsiveness. It enhances the visual design and user experience by separating the structure, that's the HTML, from the presentation, CSS, of a web page. So let's look at JavaScript. JavaScript is a programming language that enables interactivity and dynamic behavior on the client side of web applications. It allows developers to manipulate the contents of a web page, respond to user actions, and update the page without requiring a full reload. JavaScript is commonly used to create interactive forms, validate inputs, create animations, and communicate with server. It is a versatile language used both on the client side, as the browsers, and the server side, the Node.js, making it a key component in modern web development. In summary, consider HTML provides the structure, CSS has styles and layouts, and JavaScript has interactivity and dynamic behavior to create a complete and engaging web experience. So let's look at how all these tools work and how they are being used. Let's take a look on our website, EDENITESTechnologies.com. You can see the web page. The structure of this page was done with HTML. The design, the way it looks, the way it appears was done with CSS. Then the animation, such as the image slides you're seeing, was achieved with JavaScript. The interactivity that goes between the text and the image slide was achieved with JavaScript. So thank you. So welcome back. In this session, we are going to talk about setting up your development environment. So let's start. Firstly, we need to introduce a code editor. And the code editor we are going to use is Visual Studio Code. Well, let me briefly explain on what code editor means. Code editor is a software application designed specifically for writing and editing source code of computer programs. One of the popular examples is the Visual Studio Code, which we'll be using. It is a free and open source code editor developed by Microsoft And some of the importance of features of Visual Studio Code include cross-platform compatibility. Visual Studio Code is compatible with Windows, Mac OS, Linux, providing a consistent development experience across different operating systems. Extensions. Visual Studio Code supports a wide range of extensions that enhance its functionality. These extensions can add support for different programming languages, integrate with version control system, offer debugging capabilities, and more. 3. Intelligent code completion. The editor provides intelligent code completion suggestions as you type, helping to speed up coding by reducing the need to type out entire code structures. 4. Built-in JIT integration. Visual Studio has built-in JIT integration, allowing developers to work with version control directly within the editor. These include features like viewing changes, committing code, and managing branches. 5. Integrated terminal. The Visual Studio Code includes an integrated terminal, enabling developers to run commands and scripts without leaving the coding environment. So in summary, Visual Studio Code is a versatile and feature-rich code editor that caters to the needs of developers across different platforms and programming languages. Its extensibility and community support make it popular choice in the development environment. So in this section, we are going to use Visual Studio Code as a development tool. So let me show you how to set up a sample project using Visual Studio Code. So you can go on your browser and type Visual Studio Code on your browser and install it if you haven't done that. But if you have done that already, on your system, locate the shortcut on desktop, open it. Okay. So just like me, I have already existing work there, but I will need to create a new file so that you better understand what I mean. So you go to File, I click on New Window, so I select New File. Then I can type any name. I might type EDENITES. So create file. So I check the location I want to save. Let me save it on desktop. I click on the desktop location. So I add .html. Since we'll be working with HTML, because HTML is the basic language of a web document. It's the language of the web document. That's what we'll be working with firstly. So I add .html extension and click on create file. Okay, welcome back. So in this session, we are going to talk about HTML and building the structure of HTML. So let's start by looking at the basic structure of a HTML document. Like a HTML has its own structure. So the structure comes like this. On the file you just created, on your Visual Studio Code with the .html extension. Press Shift 1 on your keyboard. It will pop up an exclamation mark. So press Enter. So that's the basic structure of a HTML document, in which you have doc type that shows the doc type you are dealing with is a HTML document. You have the HTML lang, where lang is an attribute, and its value is what? EN, specifying English. So you have your head tag. So inside your head tag, between the opening or starting tag and closing or end tag. You have some other tags that goes in between them. So you have your meta tags, you have your title tag that specify the title of the document you are working with. So the next tag you have there is you have your body tag, in which everything you will display on the browser, you will output on the browser will go into. If you need something to show on your browser, for example, I type something like EDENITE is great. Then I save with Ctrl X. So I copy part by right click. I copy part. So I paste on my browser. Ctrl V. I enter. You will see that the output EDENITE is great, meaning that anything you want to output on the browser, you need to write the thing in between. All the thing will come in between what? The body tags, the opening and closing tags of the body. So the last tag we have there is the closing tag of HTML. So let's go over to the next thing we have on this session. Let me explain the basics of HTML tags for you. So in HTML, we have some of the essential tags. We have the heading tags, which run from H1, You have your H2, and each of them has a closing tag that is preceded by a forward slash. Yeah. So you have your H3. Okay. You have your H3. You have your H4. You have your H5. And you have your H6. So we have other tags. We have the paragraph tag, the essential tag. We have the list tag, the LI. It's also an essential tag. We have the bold tag, the B. We have the underline tag, the U. So these are some of the essential tags we have on HTML. So the next thing we have there is I want to show you how attributes work. First of all, let's answer the question. What is attribute? I can say that attributes are characteristics or properties of a HTML word document. So let me show you how attributes works in HTML. Let's use the paragraph tag. So I can come in between the paragraph tag and type something like this is EDENITES Technologies. So remember, EDENITES Technology. So I will add the attribute on the opening tag of paragraph. So the attribute will be style attribute. It comes with an inverted comma after you add equals to. So you add color. Color specify the text color of the write-up. So you can add the text to be red. So you save. So you go back to your browser. Since it's maintaining the same word link and the same part, you tap on enter. So you now see that the color changes to what? Okay, welcome back. In this session, we are going to look at CSS and how to style your web page. So first thing we are going to do is we need to know the role of CSS in styling, but we won't do that without explaining CSS and what CSS is all about. So CSS is an acronym for Cascading Style Sheets. It is used to style web documents, used to to improve the appearance, the improved appearance. We use it to improve the visual display of a web page. So let's look at each rule in styling web documents. Cascading style sheet play a crucial role in styling web documents, allowing developers to control the presentation and layout of HTML elements. So let me tell you the key aspect of CSS and its role in styling. One of the key aspects is in separation of content and presentation. CSS enables the separation of content, that is the HTML, and presentation, that is the styling. This separation makes it easier to manage and maintain web pages. So, 2. Selectors and declarations. CSS uses selectors to target HTML elements and declaration to define styling properties. For example, you can use a selector like P to target paragraphs and declare properties like color or font size. The box model. So CSS incorporates the box model where each HTML element is treated as a rectangle box with content, padding, borders, and margins. Developers can manipulate this component to control spacing and layout. The typography. CSS allows the styling of text, including font size, font family, font weight, color, and spacing. This gives developers control over the visual and appearance of textual content. Colors and background. CSS provides properties to set colors for text, backgrounds, and borders. This allows for a visually appealing and consistent color scheme across a website. The layout and positioning. CSS is instrumental in creating different layouts for web pages. It offers various positioning and layout properties such as float, position, and display to control the placement of elements. Responsive design. With media queries in CSS, it is possible to implement a responsive design. This allows web pages to adapt to different screen sizes, devices, providing an optimal viewing experience. So, in summary, CSS is a fundamental technology in web development that empowers developers to control the visual presentation of web page. It encompasses a wide range of styling options, from basic typography to advanced layout techniques, contributing to a seamless and aesthetical pleasing user experience. So let's look at the next thing we have is, so let me show you how to select elements and apply styles to them in CSS. So the CSS we are going to work with is the internal CSS. So let's work with the internal CSS. So you come after the title, click enter, you type star. You have to select your words paragraph. Let's select the paragraph. We select the paragraph as a selector. P. We add our curly brackets. So we add style. The style we add is color. Add color white. That's the text color. We add background color black. Okay, we add border radius. Border radius is a property in CSS. We add 5 pixels. The default measurement for the default unit for measurement in CSS or HTML is pixels. So you save. So let's execute the code. You go back to your browser, copy parts. You go to your browser, you paste the parts, type enter. So you can see that there is changes on that paragraph. You can see that the background color is black while the text. So welcome back. In this session we'll talk about JavaScript and how JavaScript is being used to add interactivity to web pages. So firstly, let's talk about JavaScript and its role in making web pages interactive. JavaScript is a programming language that plays a crucial role in making web pages interactive. Here are some key aspects of JavaScript and its contributions to web interactivity. 1. Client-side scripting. JavaScript is primarily used for client-side scripting, meaning it runs in the user's web browser rather than on the web server. This enables dynamic changes to the content and behavior of a web page without requiring a full page reload. To the DOM manipulation. JavaScript interacts with the document object model DOM, which represents the structure of a web page as a tree of objects. Developers can use JavaScript to manipulate the document object model, enabling them to dynamically change elements, attributes, and styles on a web page in response to user action or other events. So JavaScript helps to manipulate document object model, thereby working with objects. So 3. Event handling. JavaScript allows developers to respond to user interaction and events, such as clicks, mouse movements, key presses, and more. This makes it possible to create a responsive and interactive user interface. Another thing is asynchronous programming. JavaScript supports asynchronous programming, allowing certain tasks to be executed independently of the main program flow. This is crucial for handling tasks like fetching data from servers, making API calls, and updating the UI without freezing the user interface. 5 is AJAX. Asynchronous JavaScript and XML. JavaScript along with technologies like XML HTTP requests, enables asynchronous communication with a server. This allows for data to be retrieved and updated in the background without requiring a full page reload, leading to a smoother and more interactive user experience. Browser compatibility. JavaScript is supported by all major web browsers, making it a versatile language for creating cross-browser compatibility web applications. So in summary, JavaScript is a fundamental technology for building modern interactive web pages. It empowers developers to create dynamic and responsive user interfaces, enhancing the overall user experience on the web. So let's look at the next thing. Let me just show you how simple JavaScript functions works. So you can go to your code. So for you to be able to add a JavaScript code, you must add it with style tag, the script tags. You must add it with the script tags. So on your body, or on the head section, type script. It comes with the closing tag. So let's check. The first JavaScript we have a function known as document.write. This helps you to display your output on the browser. You can say hello world. So when you save, you copy part and run. So you can see the hello world. So that's how JavaScript works. For example, you want this hello world to work on events. For example, you want it to display open button click. So the next thing you will do there is you come down, you now add your button, and say, you can say button is click me. You now add a function to the button. You can say button on click. You add an event on click. Add a function name, my function. Okay. So once the button is clicked, it should do something. It should perform the function using the function name. So I will now come to this area, add function using the function keyword. Add function, my function. Remember to add your parentheses and your curly brackets. So I now type document dot type document. Okay, let me use alert. Let it display in form of alert. So alert is a function also, but it's a predefined function, not a user-defined function. I say hello world. So you save, you execute your code, copy parts, you paste your parts. So you will see once you click this button, it tends to pop up hello world in alert box format. You can see this is hello world. So this is how JavaScript function works. So then welcome back. On this session, let's talk about the responsive design of a website. We want to talk about how important it is for a website to have a responsive design. So let's look at the importance of responsive design. Responsive design is crucial for websites due to several reasons. 1. User experience. Responsive design ensures a seamless and consistent user experience across various devices and screen sizes. Users can access your website on desktop, laptops, tablets, and smartphones without encountering distorted layouts or functionality issues. 2. Mobile traffic. With the increasing use of smartphones, a significant portion of internet traffic comes from mobile devices. A responsive design caters to this audience, making your website accessible and user-friendly on smaller screens. Search engine optimization, that's your SEO. Search engines like Google, Bing, etc. Prioritize mobile-friendly websites in these rankings. A responsive design can positively impact your SEO efforts, leading to better visual visibility and high ranking in search engine results. Cost effectiveness. Maintaining a single responsive website is more cost effective than managing separate versions for desktop and mobile. It reduces development and maintenance costs, as updates and changes need to be implemented only once. Adaptability to future devices. Responsive design is not limited to specific devices or screen sizes. It adapts to the ever-evolving landscape of devices, ensuring that your website remains relevant and functional on upcoming technologies. Improving loading times. Mobile users, especially those on lower network, appreciate faster loading times. Responsive design often involves optimizing images and content for various devices, contributing to a better overall performance. In summary, responsive design is essential for providing a positive user experience, reaching a broader audience, improving search engine rankings, and ensuring the long-term sustainability of your website in a dynamic digital landscape. So let's look at the next thing we have. Let's just check how this responsive design works. So let's take a look at EDENITES Technologies website. Like this is the desktop version of EDENITES Technologies website. So let's check the mobile version, look at and check how it looks. So you click on inspect. Wow. You can see that's the mobile version, which means the website is responsive. You can see the mobile version is responsive, meaning that it can fit into any device. That's what we talk about when we talk about mobile responsiveness. It means the website can fit into any device, be it tablet, be it smartphone, be it laptop or desktop. can fit in properly to any device and still have an optimal view and appearance. So you can see that the website is mobile responsive. So that's all. So welcome back. In this session, let's talk about the testing of the website and deployment. So after you might have created your website, so for your website to be on the net, you need to create website locally first. It depends. So for your website to be on the net, you need to purchase a hosting plan. Yes, you need a domain name and a hosting. So you need to purchase a hosting plan alongside a domain name. So there are several companies you can do that with, but the ones we have Hostinga. You can try Hostinga, you can try Namecheap, but I will use Hostinga to explain. Hostinga, use Hostinga. We are using Hostinga on this video. So the first thing you do is, if you don't have an account with Hostinga, you need to proceed and create an account on Hostinga. So you can see that their domain prices and hosting prices are friendly. They are friendly, so you can go for them. If you can still not, you don't want to use Hostinga, there are other several hosting companies. We have GoDaddy. We also have Namecheap. You can use Namecheap. So once you might have gotten a domain name and a web hosting plan, so you now proceed to upload your website. So in the advanced videos, we'll be teaching that on how to upload your website from your local system to your online hosting platform. So the domain will be locally on your system, but you need to upload it to a system in the net. So that's the thing. So for testing, you need to test your website also properly to avoid further errors and bugs, in order to give the client what he or she needs, and also be outstanding in your work. So you need to test and debug. Testing has to come with debugging. So you test and debug. So after that, you now upload your website. So that's all we have for this session. Thank you for this class. You can see that congratulations, you have completed a crash course in web development. Remember that practice is key. The more you build, the more you learn.